What I wanted to talk about today is what Ken Wilber, the American philosopher, talks about as a transpath path, or he also suggested metapath. He wasn't talking about Druidry. He was talking about our need now for spiritualities that aren't overly identified with particular paths, but somehow connect to the truth in many paths and are able to unite people. Transpath paths are meta paths. And I think that's a very important concept because I think many of us today somehow feel, even though we might long for the embrace of one teaching, one path that holds us and contains us, often I think many of us find ourselves being inspired by insights, by the beauty and the inspiration from many different paths. So, the Sufi poetry, sacred music from the Christian tradition, Christian art, words of wisdom from every faith, teachings of Buddhism, and so on. And it can take a while to feel comfortable with that, because sometimes we can beat ourselves up for being a dilettante. I'll take a little bit there and a little bit there and a little bit there, but I won't discipline myself and follow in particular path as do the real followers of the way. So we can find ourselves being accused of being dilettantes, of New Age smorgasbording, as someone once put it, and of being superficial in that way. And yet, I think something much more important is going on, and I'd be really interested to hear your feelings about this, because Druidry, I believe, can be a very specific path that you follow to the exclusion of all other spiritual inputs. You follow that just that way. And there's plenty there for you to do that. And I'm not disparaging that whatsoever. But I think it can also be approached as a metapath, which allows you to be syncretic, allows you to include inspirations from other traditions. And in doing that, it's acting in a bit like alchemy. Alchemy is a good example of a transpath path, of a metapath. You can have Sufi alchemy, Christian alchemy, pagan alchemy. Alchemy can be a kind of a way of looking at life, a way of understanding that transcends particular divisions and also includes inspirations from other ways. I wanted to share just one idea from one kind of combination that I think works really well. And that is Zen Druidry. Have you ever heard of the Ango retreat? ANGO. And it's an idea that comes out of Japanese Zen for a short, intense period of spiritual work. Traditionally, it was a period of 90 days, 3 months, where you would engage in meditation and sort of dedicated special work and study for a period of 3 months. It's been adapted by some schools of Zen so that it can be engaged in householders, so that you can combine this period of intense training with going to work and running a family, leading a normal family life. It's how Druidry can be a metapath, and how you can combine an idea from Zen with Druidry to create a 3-month intense period of working spiritually, starting from the spring equinox or the autumn equinox. A course that I developed probably about 7 years ago called Lessons in Magic, which is really about inner transformation and how that can affect your outer circumstances. And it's still one of my kind of favorite works. If you like the idea of this 90-day retreat, you might like to sort of kickstart it by doing this course and joining lots of people who've already done it, So there's a link to it. There's a little 2-minute video when you click on there with me talking about it. And that really sets the scene. It'd be lovely to welcome you into that. So let's go into a meditation now. Let's just allow these ideas to settle